hands together for Rob Sullivan.
So I watch a lot of TV, and I'm pretty sure that Game of Thrones is for people who think The Walking Dead is too happy. I had to go pick up my brother from school the other day, and I saw those signs that say school zone 15 miles an hour. 15 miles an hour. Isn't that perfect cruising speed for a pedophile? I have a cousin who lives in southern Kentucky, and recently he had his trailer stolen. And it was really sad. It really sucks that he's homeless now. So thank you guys for coming out. My name is Rob Sullivan. And it is very nice. All the comedians were really excited backstage that so many people were here. And yeah, just a little bit about myself. I am 21 years old, and I'm about to turn 22. And I really hope that it goes better than last year on my birthday. Which, yeah. As long as I don't end up in the hospital again. No, I didn't end up in the hospital. I did go out drinking with some friends though, and all the girls got me this drink. And it's called a Lindsay Lohan. I don't know if anybody here has ever had this drink. A Lindsay Lohan is basically a redheaded slut with coke in it. But yeah, my dad got me a really interesting gift. He took me to Utah, which is something I've always wanted to do. And while we were driving through downtown Salt Lake, I see these 3 or 4 guys standing on the corner, and they're wearing oversized t-shirts and sideways. It's a gang. You all know what a gang is. You've seen TVs and movies. You know what it is. But they're covered in stuff from BYU, which is Brigham Young University. And since you all are laughing, you all already know that it's basically the Mormon version of Notre Dame. And so I was just sitting there. I see these 3 guys. And in my head, I just go, whoa, hold up. Is that a Mormon gang? Like, instead of dealing drugs, are they dealing religion? Just, hey kids, you want a pamphlet? Come on, man, you gotta know. Come on, man. Like, instead of doing drive-bys, do they just go door to door? Yeah, we can hit everybody on the street, one pass. I swear, I heard one of them say to the leader, yo, we gotta take care of this Jehovah's Witness 3 blocks down. They are violating the contract we wrote. And the leader was like, no, I got it. I will write them a strongly worded letter, threatening legal action, but we might just get the Chamber of Commerce involved. I know a guy, it'll be all good. But yeah, my dad's kind of silly like that. He was born and raised in southern Kentucky. It's where the cousin is from, and basically his entire family. And this leads him to have a lot of weird opinions. Like, his favorite band is Fox News. And I'm still trying to convince him that George W. Bush is not an acceptable answer to who is your favorite superhero. And I did. I'm a huge nerd, so I took him to go see the first Captain America movie, thinking we would get to bond and, have a good time together. It did not go as expected. Here's what happened. So for those of you familiar with the movie, in the beginning, when Steve Rogers is trying to get into the Army, he's getting turned down all the time. And my dad's just sitting there shaking his head. Just, and I'm like, what? What is wrong? And he just looks at me and he goes, why is he trying to lie to the Army? Huh? Why is he wasting valuable supplies that can be used to fight the Nazis? I'm like, oh, it's called an origin story, Dad. And, one second. A little bit later in the movie, when he finally goes through the experiment and becomes Captain America as we know, My dad's just sitting there just grumbling, shaking his head. And I finally just look at him and I go, what? And he's like, is this guy a commie? I mean, he's being given his powers? This is the liberal, gay, communist agenda infiltrating our youth and trying to seep into our children. I do not like this Steve Rogers. He is a bad representation of America. He should work for his powers like the good Lord intended everyone in his glorious American army to function. What? Huh? No. But I really do love Captain America. And I think he's underrated in a lot of parts. Like, particularly his day-to-day life. Like, I bet you didn't know, Captain America is the greatest Frisbee player ever. But yeah, and I do tend to favor Marvel over DC when it comes to comic books.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's mainly because I do not like Aquaman. I hate Aquaman. And listen, the reasons are pretty simple. Aquaman had one comic book that was Aquaman. It was just him. And the entire time, he was just fighting polluters. It was basically a comic book version of Captain Planet. And Aquaman has one power. He can talk to sea life. He can talk to all the fishes. I mean, Aquaman is basically a SeaWorld employee. But yeah. So one last joke before I go, one last little story. I had a gig up in Nashville that I had to go to, and my car was broken. So I decided to take my girlfriend's car. And my girlfriend drives a Toyota Yaris, which is a Prius only smaller. It was like the people at Toyota just put a lunchbox on the back of the car and was like, it's a car, it's not a car. And we get to Nashville and we're having a hard time parking because there's another bigger concert in town, as there always is. And so finally we end up in the bad part of Nashville. I'm just like, let's just park here. And my girlfriend is all nervous. She's like, I don't want my car stolen, this is a bad part of town. I'm like, babe, listen, your car is way too sensible and has way too good gas mileage to get stolen. Okay? I mean, the only people that would steal your car would be a Mormon gang. Thank you guys very much. My name is Rob Sullivan. Give it up for your host, Jonathan Travis.
Give it up one more time for Rob Sullivan. You guys are so much more energetic than when I was up here. Good job, you guys. All right, we're gonna keep this thing going. We have another